It is Thursday, August 31st, and it is time to get in the weeds. I'm Jeremy Lambert. That is SP3. We are not streaming on TikTok as StreamYard just alerted me that we could not connect to the TikTok. So just got that message right as we went live. So we're not on TikTok, but we are on YouTube. We are on X/Twitter. If you're following us over there, we appreciate it. If you're on YouTube, leave us a thumbs up on the video. Look at this. I'm getting into it early today with the thumbs up. There we go. Get the fireworks popping off
Boom.
early. Unlike Cope, who got no fireworks. Leave a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel. That helps us out. All that fun stuff. Leave a super chat. Get your question, comment, statement read on the air. That helps us out. SP3, how you doing, buddy?
I am doing well. It's Thursday. I'm happy to be here to talk some AEW Dynamite. Scotland was a great crowd. We'll talk about the show. I don't know if I'll say it's great, but it was good. It was good. I'll give it that. I give it a long story short, it was good. I just have some problems. But yeah, I can't wait to talk about that. We got a C-suite because it's C-suite Thursday. The people have been asking for it. They've been needing it. So you get a legit C-suite this week because we had both LFG and Evolve this week. So we'll get into both of those. And yeah, I don't know what else we can discuss. We already discussed the G1 on Tuesday. That's pretty much it. That's what we'll do a preview for TNA Impact.
No, we won't. Don't lie to the people, SP3. We will not be doing a preview of TNA Impact. Sorry. People are gonna show up. People are gonna win matches. People are gonna lose matches. 20 people are gonna watch, and we're gonna pretend, not us, but people are gonna pretend like they're the number 2 promotion, and all they need is a big television deal. We do got a lot of television news to talk about because WWE. I thought yesterday was going to be a nice, easy Wednesday. All right, not too much going on. AEW's overseas. They ran their show in the afternoon. I get to watch that in the afternoon. That was very nice. I didn't even watch I don't know what the TV version was compared to the Raw version, so you might have to fill in a few things for me when it comes
would
to.
Would you watch like a fan cam or something?
Don't worry about how I get things.
But nobody told me. You got Joel bragging about it in the live chat. You got you bragging about it here. Like
Bryan
nobody
Danielson
decided to tell me. I could have been done with stuff early yesterday. Jeez.
Bryan Danielson gives me a live feed of things. I don't even say how. I don't even tell Sean how I get these things. So I'm not. This is top secret information here.
Holding out on me, man. Holding out on me. That's damn shameful. Shameful. But no, I did enjoy.
That's all.
I did enjoy the commentary, so I can't say that it was a rare week where I did enjoy AEW commentary.
Yeah, because Bryan Danielson.
Because Bryan Danielson is awesome. I forgot how great he was during the CW during the Cruiserweight Classic back in 2016 with Mauro Ranallo, and I got hints of that during the show, and he was a great person to have for certain moments, like the whole MJF stuff, which I'll have my issues on. I'll have my words about on this show because you know me, I'm a shameless MJF supporter, but I don't know if I could support that segment. But he was nice to have on there. After Will Ospreay said he wasn't cleared, he was nice to be out there talking about that Will, he had surgery on his neck around the same age as Will. So yeah, it was great having him on commentary. So I didn't mind it this week.
Yeah, because Bryan Danielson is fantastic, and he should be on all the shows. I'm looking forward to him being on the Forbidden Door pre-show this weekend, because him with Renee and RJ City, he's just going to say some dumb shit. And lovingly. He's going to say some dumb shit with those two around. Jeff Jarrett's going to try to, give insight and analysis. And
he is
Renee.
Jeff Jarrett just talk. I've seen Jeff Jarrett on one of these pre-shows. He just likes talking crap. Well, I think this guy's gonna win.
That's the analysis he's giving. Is this guy's gonna win? Brian, meanwhile, especially like the Nigel and Zach match, he's gonna take shots at Nigel with everything.
Brian
He's
on
gonna,
commentary for the Nigel match.
oh, that would be good if he was on commentary for that match. That would be really good.
Yeah.
We love Brian Danielson, the GOAT around here. So, all right, when we get in Dynamite, just right away, jump right into things.
I thought the rule was the 45-minute rule.
Yeah, that's Joel's rule. I don't have to follow that rule. Rules are meant
Have
to
you
be
been
fun.
watching the challenge vets and new threats?
I'm behind on it.
What episode have you watched?
I've watched none of it. I'm very behind on it.
I was like, did you like miss an episode? Did you miss 2? He's like, I haven't watched any. Oh, okay.
I said I was behind SP3.
He says, I haven't even watched episode 0.
Yeah.
Did we ever talk about the second episode of South Park? Season
The second
27?
episode? No. I know.
Yeah.
Was there a new episode last night? Because nobody spoiled it. If there was, they've been taking weeks off, and it's very annoying.
Yeah. It's very annoying because it doesn't seem like they have a set schedule. Because it's like, I thought it was like 1 week on, 1 week off, 1 week on, 1 week off. And then I think it's been off to 2 days. I don't know. I didn't check Paramount today, so I'll see later.
I think it was back last night, but I didn't watch last night's episode. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do after this show. But I did watch, the second episode where
Mr. Mackey became part of ICE.
Yeah. I popped every time the ICE leader just firing at dogs.
Oh, and her face falling off.
Yeah, her face falling off. You see her response of like, oh, you can only make fun of people when they're ugly because you can't poke fun at like the job that I do because I do a great job. It's like, look at the job you do, lady. Congratulations that you do a great job at this. The job you do affects a lot of people, and it's not illegal, but morally, this is the career path you have chosen. Congratulations that you do.
Morally corrupt.
Yeah.
Morally corrupt people, and I don't know what she does other than shoot dogs. Apparently, if I'm just going by what South Park's doing, I mean that's what I would say that she does. But no, it was a fun episode. I don't think it was as good and as iconic. I felt like that first episode.
Yeah, it's even tough to beat that.
That was like the first iconic South Park episode we've had in like maybe 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah, it was gonna be tough to beat that episode because that was a top tier South Park episode. I'm looking forward to checking out whatever they did last night because I'm sure it's good.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the season so far. The 2 episodes that I watched. I watched the new episode, I guess, in between this and AE Ramble.
Really saying it's ethnic cleansing. All right. Okay. No spoiling the third episode for us.
Yes.
We don't need that.
We'd appreciate it.
There's South Park.
Did you watch You yet?
Yeah, we've talked about. What do you mean? Did I watch You?
No. Oh yeah. That's the question for you.
Sure, not for me.
Did you watch the season finale of All Stars?
No, she hasn't watched You. Oh, you know what we should talk about? Because you messaged it in our chat and we never really got into it. This Perfect Match season.
Oh my god!
Fucking trash.
Yo, this was the worst one. Like, oh man, it's been a decline ever since season 1. This feels like watching Heroes all over again. But like season 1 was just like, it was like lightning in a bottle. It was a cool new concept. You had people you were familiar with from the Netflix shows. It was like a Netflix Love Island warp baby that did incest with the challenge. And like it was all of that mixed into one, where you're mixing different reality shows into one, and it was a fun concept, and you had fun personalities. And season 2, while not as good as season 1, was still fun because you got Harry and you got all the drama that he caused and stuff like that. That was good. This season, you literally had the handbook for this season in your hands. In your hands, you literally had it, and you promoted it too. You had them come out at the Love Island reunion when they didn't have to. You showed the footage like before the season started to remind everybody, oh, this is what happened. And then it comes down to the vote of the people that are already eliminated, and they decide to go with Daniel and Lucy, where
So,
you give them the freaking Harry and Jessica treatment.
yeah. So I don't mind that like they didn't win AD and Ollie. Like that's fine. Because it did feel like they were just being set up to win when we saw the beforehand and we knew they were engaged. We knew they had a baby and everything. Like I'm okay if they didn't win. The way they got there though was so terrible. In the final thing where there were the four couples and they made them play that stupid game. And then the other team or the other couple that I thought had a chance to actually beat them, Madison and Freddie. 'Cause they were super strong from the very beginning as well. It's like, you know what? If they vote for Madison and Freddie, I'm not mad if Ollie and AD lose. They've been together since the beginning. Freddie didn't kiss anybody. Ollie kissed somebody. No, Freddie was on his best behavior. Madison was on her best behavior. Like there was no screwing around with those two. But then they got eliminated in the thing before their dumb little game that they played. And I was like, and then when it came down to Daniel and Lucy against them, it's like, okay, well, Ollie and AD definitely win. Who's voting for Daniel and Lucy?
Yeah, I was like any other couple outside of Madison and Freddie, it makes no sense for AD and Ollie to lose this. Like you can say, oh, Ollie kissed someone else. Ollie was in another couple because of the stupid twist this game decided to play with that old crap. Because I was like, yo, this is smooth sailing. I'm watching like 4 episodes in. I'm like, this is smooth sailing for Ollie and AD to win this. They're going to be together. They're going to stick together. Doesn't matter if you send AD on a date. They sent her on a date with JR, the biggest F-boy that I've ever seen on this show ever. And she came back to Ollie. Ollie was flirting with Alex, and he came back to AD. But like then they did that stupid twist of, oh, you have to send, and it was Daniel and Lucy on that one. You have to send one of these couples that you said is the most compatible. You have to send the male and a female from both of these teams, and the other one is gonna have to leave the house. And AD had to leave the house, and Freddie had to leave the house. But it was so stupid because I was like, they're just gonna wind up back together because I've seen Perfect Match before. I've seen that these people aren't gone. They can come back on the board. They can come back for the mixer. I've seen this show before, so it didn't add anything. It just was like, let me force some drama into the season. So that's why I don't think it was an effective twist. That's why I don't think the ending was an effective twist at all, because it was like, these people are that dumb that they picked Daniel and Lucy. Daniel, who basically felt like he was a kid in a candy store at the mixer and kissed a girl between the legs when he's supposed to be in this committed relationship. But you know who's worse? Ollie, who was forced to couple up with someone else and was trying to make that work because he probably didn't even know how the game worked because he probably never watched the show before. So, like, man, I was just like, that was like the biggest womp, womp, womp. And then they should be like, oh, you know, you don't have to get first place to be a winner. And it's like,
oh, when Daniel and Lucy, even before they won, when they were just talking, because Lucy was very dumb. She should have, ended things multiple times with Daniel, but she didn't.
He's too emotional.
When they were just talking and before like the vote was decided, we didn't know if there was a reunion or not. And like I thought there would be, there wasn't. But I was, watching with the wife and I'm just like, they ain't lasting. They ain't lasting more than like a couple of days once this show ends. Like they're done. We're gonna get to the reunion and we're gonna learn like, oh yeah, outside of the house, we tried it and it fell apart immediately. Something happened immediately. And so when that graphic popped up, like they broke up weeks later, I was like, Weeks is doing some heavy lifting here. There's no way it was Weeks. And the wife made a good point of like, well, they had the vacation, so they probably went on the vacation and that was good. And then when they got back to their homes, they broke up. So technically that would be 2 weeks. So technically Weeks would be correct.
Weeks.
I was like, you know what? Fine. I'll give them Weeks then. But they ain't lasting. They did not last that long. And you knew they weren't going to last long. Like, just watching the show, they ain't going to last.
Like, even if they didn't give away the ending, I would have been like, I think AD and Ali are the only couple that's together still. And I would be proven correct. I think the only other person you would say is Freddie and Madison, but they kind of gave the little nugget in that final episode that this wasn't going to work out either because of the distance.
Yeah, it wasn't a good season, and they gotta try some of the format, whatever it might be. But the last 2 years, you've just done like shock winners for the sake of shock winners, and it hasn't made the show any better.
Yeah,
they gotta figure it out.
Yeah, they have to figure out. They have to finagle with all with that concept a little bit if they're gonna bring it back. Which, after the last 2 seasons, the last 2 winners, I don't know why.
Yeah. I'm sure they will, because Netflix is now its own universe with these reality TV shows, so they could just keep bringing people in there. We've started Love Is Blind UK. And there's some people on this show that might be good at perfect match, to where they might cause some drama, but also may actually be real with the game and actually look for a perfect match. So I don't know if you started Love Is Blind UK.
No, I haven't started it yet. Me and the missus are gonna start it later this week. We'll figure that out. We have to get our 90-day fiance schedule on point.
Fair. Hey, let's talk about some of the news from yesterday.
Yes.
WWE officially announced they're headed to ESPN, the new streaming platform. It's just ESPN, but it's now $30 a month instead of whatever ESPN Plus was costing you. With September 20th, Palooza, John Cena will headline against a man he has not faced in over a decade. So John Cena and The Miz, I think, is the match they're trying to make here. When was the
Lord Tenzai!
Lord Tenzai? When was the last time John Cena faced The Miz?
Wasn't it 2017, the mixed tag match?
Oh yeah. Well, this is a singles match, I'm going based on singles matches here. Now, 2018 was a house show. He faced The Miz. I'm not counting that. 2018 on Raw. All right, not The Miz. I was incorrect. It's not The Miz. Maybe it's who else has he not faced?
Lord Tenzai.
Okay.
Santino?
Is that where we're going? Lord Tenzai, Santino.
Jeff Hardy?
Oh, Jeff Hardy would be fun. They brought him back for this. Yeah. Kane. What if he faced Kane?
Oh no! Please no! Please, please. Let's not even joke about that. Let's not do that.
Everything from 2014 John Cena is just Randy Orton.
We need John Cena versus Zilla Fatu.
Seth Rollins. He's faced Seth before 2014. Since then.
Yeah, he faced him in 2015 at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
They faced throughout 2015 ridiculous amount of times.
It's gonna be Swerve, and it's gonna be a Swerve, and it's gonna be Del Rio, and then people will be.
Dun, 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 dun. He's like, well, let me have another problematic person. I want to work with that person, Paul.
What about Ryback? What if they brought back Ryback for this?
Oh, Zack Ryder's a good shout. Matt Cardona.
Okay.
It's been I think it's been a decade for them. Nick Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler, could be him. Could be Rey Mysterio. I don't think he faced Rey Mysterio in over a decade.
Yeah, let's see the last time he faced Rey Mysterio.
I just remember them facing when he took the title from him after he only had the title for an hour.
2011. That was the
Yeah.
last singles match. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Rey Mysterio. That should be the match. That would go over a lot better.
Yo, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
If you give me SummerSlam 2025 Cena versus Rey Mysterio, even with his bionic knees and everything, his bionic legs, I'll take that. I think that would be very entertaining. That'd be much better than the alternative.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna face a person who was not faced in a decade. It is sadly going to be Brock Lesnar. Cody Rhodes is also going to be on this show. Drew McIntyre is going to be on this show.
So they're probably doing Cody and Drew at that show.
Seth Rollins will be on this show, and Becky Lynch will be on this show. I assume we're going to get Becky and Nikki on this one. And
so they're not going to do that in Paris. Are they doing any women's matches in Paris?
They'll add the women's world title match to Paris. They'll add for the vacant title.
For the vacant title? Okay.
Yeah. Nah, I think they hold off on Becky and Nikki to this show. I don't think they're gonna do that in Paris. I don't know what they're gonna do in Paris if they do add, because what do you have right now with the matches? You have the 4-way match, Roman and
Bronson Reed, Cena and Logan, Sheamus and Rusev. Yeah.
The 4. Women's world title match that we assume we're gonna get at, that's 5. That's
that would be it, but we don't know about the women's world championship, because I thought Cody and Drew would be for this show, but I knew it would be too soon, and especially when Drew did the promo on SmackDown last week and he didn't like challenge him or anything for the show. I was like, then I don't know if they're gonna be on that show. They probably save it for the September 20th show, so now it seems like that's gonna be on that card. But I thought Becky and Nikki was for Clash in Paris. I thought they were just gonna wait till this week, because they did the whole thing where Nikki wants to like meet her face to face in the ring this week on Raw.
I think that it's gonna be for the September 20th show, because if they add anything else, I think they're gonna do the women's world title match at Clash in Paris, since they already announced.
I don't know now. I think they might do like a tournament or something.
I mean, maybe, but since they already announced Vakur gets a shot, like why do a tournament? You've already announced Vakur gets a shot, and they announced EO was supposed to get a shot. So I'm working under the assumption that they're gonna do Vakur against EO, against maybe Rhea, against maybe Roxanne, like some combination of those 4 for the match in Paris. So you're looking at 5 matches right now for Paris. If they add anything else, it's probably a SmackDown match. SmackDown only has 1 match. It only has Cena and Logan, and Raw would have 4 matches with that. So yeah, if they're gonna add another match, I think it's gonna be a SmackDown match.
Yeah, you're probably right. So yeah, the WrestlePalooza will probably be Becky and Nikki. What do you think about the name, the choice to announce it 1 month out, going against AEW? There's a lot to talk about with this with them, and what this means for the whole. I think Wrestling Observer Radio this week, they explained that they thought already before the announcement that WWE had already basically hit a quota with Peacock. So it wasn't I think it seems like the deal with Peacock for PLEs was more of a number than a duration.
Yeah, that's what Hollywood Reporter put out there as well, is because SummerSlam and WrestleMania were 2 nights, like they hit the quota. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's their workaround, so why they could launch on ESPN quicker. I'm not sure. So Here's what I do know. ESPN very clearly wanted the WWE stuff. That's why they paid as much money as they did.
Yeah.
ESPN also, this is what their chairman said. He said like WWE is willing to work with us with the scheduling of things. I think ESPN really likes the flexibility of these shows. ESPN doesn't care about their AEW war. They're not. I mean, they removed the
I
AEW
mean, they
page
removed they wiped it.
which is very funny, but I don't know how much coverage that page actually got. Like I don't.
Nothing off their back, probably.
Yeah, like outside of ESPN got the big Punk interview, his first interview, like when he was returning to AEW. Mark Raimondi did that interview, and that was on ESPN. Otherwise, I don't know how much ESPN coverage AEW was getting on the website.
Yeah.
They're certainly not getting like anything on their social platforms.
And they've kind of had, and haven't they kind of had issues with ESPN since that interview?
AEW?
Yeah.
I don't know of any issues.
Because I don't remember them doing any more interviews with them, and maybe that's a sign as well.
Yeah, they didn't do many interviews with them in the first place. I think that interview came to fruition because Raimondi was well respected, and it was ESPN's obviously a big platform, but it was also a written interview, so it could be controlled a little bit more than him going on like Helwani's show after his return with everything. But I don't know if there's issues from the fallouts of that. If it was, I don't know if it's ESPN, I don't know if it's AEW. But again, even before that, there wasn't like a ton of coverage. It was mainly just announcements. AEW announces All In. AEW announces Collision. That's all it really was. There wasn't a bunch of interviews. There wasn't like a top 10 list. I think they tried to do the best 25 under 25. I think they put that together, and there was AEW people. Like ESPN doesn't cover wrestling. They don't even cover WWE that well. Okay. They certainly weren't covering AEW.
Now they definitely are going to do that though.
But to my previous point of ESPN and WWE, I think ESPN likes the flexibility of the WWE schedule, and WWE is obviously very willing to be like, you want a show here? Yeah, we can make a show happen here. You need a show on December 15th? Okay, we'll make a show happen on December 15th. So ESPN's looking at this September 20th spot. Again, they don't know AEW's running. They're looking at September 20th, and they're like, well, football season is kind of just starting. Yeah, I think that's the first week of the NFL season, maybe the second week of the NFL season. I think. And then
that's like college football territory, though.
Yeah, college football's on, but ESPN wants as much programming as possible. They're paying $1 billion for this. Their streaming service is $30 a month, which is by far the most of all of these other streaming services that are out there. So they want as much content as possible. So when they put it on September 20th, ESPN, they're not worried about like, oh, there's an AEW show. What's that? It's like, whatever. We got our content. That's what we care about. WWE obviously made a conscious decision to put this show on September 20th. They know what else is going on. They announced NXT, or they haven't announced it, but Post Wrestling reports that NXT No Mercy is returning later on this year, and that's not going against an AEW show.
It's going to be the week following WrestlePalooza.
I think they've learned or seen the NXT shows just weren't cutting. Like they weren't cutting into AEW, and we've talked about that plenty. It's like they tried to run Great American Bash, they tried to run Goldberg's last match, and what did that do against All In? They still sold 30,000 tickets. They still did their fourth highest buy rate. They didn't do anything to cut into that show. And as we've talked about, you've given them more media attention, which they're still not learning from because they're doing stuff like this, but you're giving them more media attention because wrestling is in the conversation and AEW is wrestling.
Yeah.
But now they're going to try it with Cena, Brock, Seth, Cody, Drew, Punk. They're going to try it with all the top names. and hopes that works on the ESPN platform.
I think it has a better chance. I think them putting up the full court press is us really seeing that WWE is now finally taking this seriously. I think I was more bothered by them going with this strategy and not really trying that much. Like I was really disappointed by their effort on All In Texas Day, because you can't set the bar a certain way, and I think that's the issue and the disconnect that's going on with like the fan base in general, because people get upset when there's any criticism towards Triple H. You have to realize Triple H has set the bar for himself. What he was able to accomplish when he got the seat in 2022, then what he did in 2023 and 2024, he set the bar high for himself. So when he's giving us subpar stuff in 2025, we're gonna call him out for it. And it's kind of the same thing with this whole situation with WWE strategy to counter program AEW. They set the bar so high. Whenever AEW had to be on Tuesday nights, or from the very beginning of AEW Dynamite, they put out NXT, and they didn't just put out NXT, and NXT is still running the same show, business as usual. We're gonna put out our regular show versus your regular show and see who puts it out. No, they pulled out all the stops. We had Adam Cole versus Matt Riddle as the first match, not the main event on the first show that they went head to head with AEW. They put Finn Balor back on NXT. A couple of weeks in, we had Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins are all on NXT to go against AEW. Then anytime they've moved off of Wednesdays since 2021, anytime that AEW is on Tuesday night or they got to go to Wednesday night, they're throwing an ECW reunion show out there. We're doing an all-star game where we got Undertaker, Cody, and John Cena all on this one NXT show, giving the rub, choke slamming Braun Breaker. Have a good time. This is what you could see from NXT. And even like last year, I thought that AEW was disappointing in the fact that they weren't responding to them counter programming and throwing, big stars out on their show when all you're doing is, oh, Daniel Garcia's back and he signed with the company. That was your response. I was kind of disappointed in AEW's act. And then this year with their counter programming tactics, it's just felt very cheap and low effort. Oh, we're gonna throw an NXT show in front of you since you changed the time for all in. We're gonna give you 2 shows on one day, and all it is an NXT PLE that felt like a special episode of NXT that had a contract signing on it and no matches that will be even relatively honorably mentioned in a year-end award. So, like, it's not going to be talked about that much. And a Saturday night's main event that had 0 good matches, let alone, it had a good Goldberg standard main event. Congrats. And we cut Goldberg's retirement speech off at it. Those were the 2 shows that you went against the biggest show in this company's history, their biggest US show ever, their biggest show of the year. That's the 2 shows that you put up against it. That was just really like lowbrow. It just felt like we're just going to counter program. This feels like, nah, you was talking? You was talking? Oh, we got something for you. First ESPN PLE. We're going to give you that. Oh, we're going to give you John Cena on his retirement tour. Not only that, we're giving you John Cena versus Brock Lesnar in his return match for the first time in 2 years. We're giving you Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre, 2 of our top stars for the WWE Championship. Yet this feels more of like, we're trying to counter program. We're trying to get, even if it's a small percentage, we're going to take a percentage off of All Out, and we're going to make some wrestling fans make the decision to watch us over you.
Does the $30 price tag for the ESPN app like scare people off? And I'm asking SP3, I'm asking people in the chat as well, because we're used to first the WWE network, $10, you get all the WWE content plus the pay-per-views. Obviously a really great deal. Peacock, similar thing. Maybe it was like $11, $12, but you still got the WWE library plus all the PLEs plus the Peacock stuff. Now it's $30, which is a pretty big jump from Peacock. And it's only the pay-per-views. You're not even getting archived content on there. Does that scare fans off of like if you're just watching for WWE stuff, are you jumping to ESPN? Are you getting a VPN to get on Netflix and to watch that way? Like, but are you jumping to the ESPN app because $30 is a big jump. Like you're getting all the pay-per-views for $30, which is nice, but you're still essentially paying $30 a month for a pay-per-view, which is what it used to be back in the day. Now, you get a ton of other content as well because you get all the ESPN content on there. But I'm wondering how many wrestling fans like are going to watch the other content. I personally think that most wrestling fans are some type of sports fan. Maybe I could be wrong, but I feel like most wrestling fans like college basketball, college football, NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, because ESPN has all of that stuff. So you're probably not just paying $30 for WWE pay-per-views. You're probably getting something else on top of that. But I am wondering, again, if you're in the chat, if you have comments on this, like, does the $30 price tag scare you off? I don't know. What do you think? What do you think, SP3?
I think if you're like a loyal, diehard WWE fan, no. I think that you're gonna put the money down and you're gonna try to rationalize it. And I I do a little bit of rationalization in my head. And like as a wrestling fan, like in the month of June, you would have gotten 3 shows for that $30. You would have gotten Worlds Collide. Well, Worlds Collide was on YouTube, so 2. You would have gotten Money in the Bank, and you would have gotten Night of Champions. So that's pretty decent. That's pretty cool. July, you would have got Evolution. Okay, you would have got that 1 show. Then August, you got 3 shows for sure. You got the both nights of SummerSlam, and you got Clash in Paris. If WWE is going to continue on the path that they've been on over the last 3 months, which I don't think enough people are talking about, how oversaturated WWE has made their pay-per-view and major event schedule, and it seems like they've been coming up with new ones every time, because we were thinking, oh, after SummerSlam, we have 4 weeks of Clash in Paris, and then it's another 4 to 5 weeks to Crown Jewel Perth. Now you got a big ESPN special right smack down in the middle of that, and then you got 2 shows to end off the year. So the WWE, there's no guarantee that's going to be the only shows that they have available. They're going to put more shows out there. You can get more value for your money. So I don't think that it's as much of a big deal as like us older folks that got other stuff that we got to pay money for. The demographic that WWE is looking for, I think, with this move to ESPN is that 18 to 34 demographic, which has the disposable income to get something like this. I think they will get it. And I think even the 35 to 49, there's going to still be people in that demographic. And the older 50s, there's going to be people that love WWE so much that they don't care about the price tag. I think that it will have some knockback, and there are going to, I'm not saying there's going to be, 100% of fans are going to get this app. No, not going to be foolish enough to say that, but I'm saying I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal, especially to that diehard majority of WWE fans. And I think if you're a WWE fan at this point, with everything we know about this company in 2025, that's why I say don't think it's going to be that much of a deal. Because if a lawsuit, if what Vince McMahon did, if Brock Lesnar being back, if all the drama with Triple H and Dwayne, the John Cena heel run, if all of that is not telling you, maybe I should stop watching as much WWE as I am. If all of that ain't going to stop you, then $30 a month is not going to stop them either.
See, I don't think they care as much about that because that doesn't hurt their money. Like Brock Lesnar returning, Vince lawsuit, bad storylines. It's like, I'm only wasting time here. I'm only questioning my morality of how I feel by supporting this company. But once you start like taking money out of people's pockets, everything's going up nowadays. Like you gotta be a little bit more selective with your money on things. I don't personally think it's going to hurt too many fans because I think, again, I think there's going to be just a lot of crossover between people who have the ESPN app and who watch WWE. They'll probably want the ESPN app, and it's not just for WWE. I assume that most wrestling fans are also sports fans, and they'll get on the ESPN app and be like, oh, I get a bunch of baseball games. Like for me personally, ESPN was great with hockey. I could basically watch every Avs game on the ESPN app. So I'm paying basically $30 a month and getting every Avs game. That's great news for me. And then the WWE pay-per-views on top of that. And then basketball on top of that. So like, the $30 isn't that big of a deal. And I do have it bundled with Disney and Hulu, so that helps things. So it's $30 for all three of them, not just the ESPN app. But I can see if some people just get Peacock to watch the WWE shows, like, yeah, I'm not gonna pay $30 a month for.
Oh yeah, I'm canceling my Peacock. I know, yeah, I know the NXT PLEs are on there, and the library is gonna be on there, but I'm going back to the UK. I like it in the UK. Netflix, there's no ads and there's no changes. Y'all still get all the PLEs. This is perfect. I get NXT and WWE PLEs in one place, and I don't have to pay extra. Maybe everybody should move to the UK. Move out of the United States because use a VPN. Use a VPN, or I suggest moving. Those are my suggestions.
Get the VPN. That's all you got to do. Get the VPN. You can watch everything through that on Netflix. That's all you gotta. Yes. That's all you gotta worry about. We'll see if it turns people off, if less people are watching the PLEs, but we don't get those raw numbers anyway. You know, it's not like it's here's the buy rate that it did. ESPN will put out some press release. You know, they'll put out a press release that says WWE viewership for this show. It's the first ever show, so it's going to be the highest viewership they've ever done for this show. But they're still going to tout it like it's, you know, this huge deal of WrestlePalooza draws highest viewership in WWE WrestlePalooza history. It's like, well, yeah, of course it did.
Yeah, because it was the first one.
But they're gonna do some press release where they got these big numbers and everything, and they'll do this for a lot of different events. It'll be the interesting. They just did
this for Triple Mania and lied about it.
Yeah, the interesting ones will be like Rumble and WrestleMania. It's like, okay, what was the viewership here compared to what it was on Peacock? Because that's when we'll see how it does or doesn't affect when it comes to people switching over. As far as the counter programming goes, I know you mentioned that, like, oh, now it seems like they're taking serious with counter programming. I think they always took it serious, and that's why they were doing it in the first place.
I don't think they took it serious. They literally, I think they got gassed up by all the wins they got in 2023 and 2024 and the ratings whenever NXT went against AEW. And then they just went this year. They was like, we're going to counter program their pay-per-views, but we're not going to put effort in. We're not going to put big stars out there. If we lose with the developmental brand, they beat our developmental brand.
Right. That's why I think they did it that way, though. Is like they took it serious because they were counter programming in the first place, but they wanted almost that shield of, we can hurt them a little bit, but if we don't hurt them, it's like, well, you only beat our developmental brand. You only beat. They put Goldberg's last match on there, man. Like, and I know that was not directly against All In. I mean, the first half of that show was because All In was such a long show.
Yeah.
But I think that was their shield of like, well, you beat our developmental brand. You know, we don't need to throw Cody and everybody at you. You knew they took it serious on the, like, when AEW do Title Tuesday, and they're like, whoa, we got The Undertaker on the show. We got Cody on NXT. What are they here for? Who cares? They're here. Don't worry about it. Don't worry if it makes sense or not. They're on the show. John Cena is on NXT. Don't worry about why. Like, that's when they, like, started taking the stuff serious. So yeah, when they feel like they need to take it serious, they've always had this card in their back pocket. And that's why they've waited this long to play it. But I think they took it serious to an extent. I will give you that. Is like, it was almost this, they were dismissive It's almost like
Yeah.
they were just cocky about what AEW could do against them. It's like, yeah, we can. Here's our developmental brand. We can beat you with this. It's like, oh wait, we actually can't beat you with this. Oh,
Wait, you had one of your biggest buy rates
yeah,
ever? Oh, this didn't work out the way we thought.
yeah. Hey, Grace, there's another Title Tuesday. There's probably going to be a Title Tuesday for a very long time because it hinges on the baseball playoffs being on TBS, and that's why it gets moved to Tuesdays. And as long as MLB has a partnership with TBS, they're always gonna, or most likely they're gonna have to switch those days. And so, yeah, there's another Title Tuesday coming up, and I assume,
In October.
yeah, I assume that once again NXT will throw out Cody Rhodes and John Cena's only got a. So John Cena's schedule is kind of set. If you
Really?
look at the, yeah, so I'm gonna run this down.
With this new date?
Yeah, so I'm gonna run this down for everybody. So Cena has. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong thing. Hold on. So Cena has 11 dates left. Oh, that's interesting. Sorry.
And
our website.
he's on Friday SmackDown
Yeah, one second.
and
Our,
Clash
our
in
website.
Paris.
Our website is, of course, screwing up and being extremely dumb right now. All right, so Cena has 11 appearances left, right? So August 22nd SmackDown, August 29th SmackDown, August 31st Clash in Paris, September 5th SmackDown, September 15th Raw, September 20th WrestlePalooza, October 11th Crown Jewel, November 29th Survivor Series, December 13th retirement match. 9, that's 9, right? Here's where
Yeah.
it gets tricky. October 10th SmackDown, and then October 13th Raw, also in Australia. If he appears on both of those shows, that's 11. Now, does that count as just one because he's already in Australia?
Well, maybe he does
Or-
one of those shows. I don't think he does both. Raw
Okay.
and SmackDown.
All right. I mean, I feel like if he's there, why not have him do both?
I think if they're staying committed, because I've always thought that he said that when he was a heel, then he turns babyface. He's like, oh, I'm down to one more day. Oh, I'm doing 5 more. Ah! like something like that. I think he's gonna add dates at the end. But if he's staying committed, like he said in the interview, staying committed to this number, then I think he's definitely only doing one of those.
I think they could work around it of, yeah, he's a baby face again, so just be like, hey, I'm adding more dates. Nobody's gonna be like, oh shit, you lied to us, John. Everybody's gonna be excited.
And he's gonna have to do more dates because he's gonna have to be on at least one of the shows before the PLEs he's gonna be on.
You would think so. Yes. You would think so. I mean, or they count the Crown, like the Australia tour, as just one date because technically it's the same place. I mean, not technically, it is. Like it's all in Perth, Australia. So it's not like a new town that he's going to of like this is your last chance to see John Cena in this town. It's all the same town that he's hitting. I could see them basically counting that as one date, in which case he would have 2 more appearances that have not been announced left. But if they stick to he has 11 appearances left, we've just kind of named the 11 appearances, assuming he's working the show before Crown Jewel, or he's appearing the show before Crown Jewel and the show after Crown Jewel, which are also in Australia. But yeah, he would have to, you would think, like, probably show up to the Raw or SmackDown before his retirement match. He would probably have to show up to Raw or SmackDown before Survivor Series. You would think.
At least one of the shows, John. Like, can we get you for one of those shows? Yeah, that is interesting. It is interesting how they're gonna work that out ahead of these big shows, because he's a big part of the, like, for better or worse, regardless of how you felt about his heel run, there's no denying that the John Cena retirement tour is like the biggest story in WWE this year, and that's been the main draw for WWE this year as well.
Zeno asking if I'm going to Toledo SmackDown. Not unless Cena's announced. I'm not going. If they announce Cena, then I'm open to going and will probably go because that's going to be my best shot at seeing him one last
Yeah.
time based on the rest of these dates. I could theoretically go to WrestlePalooza. The problem with me going to WrestlePalooza is it's AEW weekend and it's just a busy weekend. And me going to that show and just working or not even working, I wouldn't want to work. That's the second problem. One, I don't want to work if I'm going to that show. Two, I'm better off probably staying at home and working than going to that show based on everything else going on. Like if that was a standalone show, I'd probably go and just enjoy the show as a fan. But because it's not, because it's an AEW show and a big AEW show as well, it's a little bit tougher. So I probably won't go to that. And I don't even care if I see like Cena wrestle. Like him and Brock doesn't do a ton for me, honestly. Like,
I get it.
eh.
I
Now,
do
Cena,
want to see John Cena wrestle one more time, one last time. I got to see him when I was in London, but I would like to see him actually wrestle one more time.
I think the last time I saw him wrestle was a dark match. When he came back after the pandemic, he did a dark match teaming with Ray and Dom against like the Usos and maybe Roman. I don't think Roman worked the dark match though. I'm sure it was like the Usos and Solo or somebody. But yeah, that was the last time I actually saw him wrestle. I don't think Cena's been announced for the Toledo show. If he has, like, I missed it, but I'm pretty sure he hasn't been announced for the Toledo show. Now you've got me questioning things, so I'm gonna look it up.
I can't even tell you. I'm trying to remember when was the last time I saw Cena wrestle.
Yeah, he's not on the Toledo show. That's Brock, Cody, Tiffany, and Cargill and Jacob Fatu are the advertised people on the WWE website.
There you go. There you have it.
The other kind of television news, Saturday night's main event is now just on Peacock. So John Cena's last match is going to be on Peacock, not even NBC. Goldberg out here being like, they wouldn't do this to Cena. Well, Goldberg, they did worse to Cena. You at least got on primetime television on a Saturday night. Cena's just on streaming service.
And they're probably gonna do it to counter program AEW too.
Now it's already on December 12th. Like they.
Oh, it's confirmed.
Yeah, or December 13th. Sorry,
December 13th. I might be able to go to that. Boston's not too far from me.
No, there you go. It's confirmed for December 13th, and they won't have a hard out on Peacock. So I assume John Cena, if he wants to do some big ass speech, he probably can and not get cut off, which was Goldberg's whole argument. But when you think about it, it's the same thing because they put Goldberg's speech online and Cena's speech will just be online. So
yeah, pretty much.
At least Goldberg got the audience of the NBC audience to watch the last match. Like Cena's just on Peacock and that's it. Yeah, I do wonder for that one if they put that one on NBC. Because when they announced this deal, this was supposed to be, I thought, an NBC special. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is I thought all the Saturday night's main events deals were going to be NBC shows for this year. And then now it'll start next year. There'll be Peacock exclusives. I do wonder if that match just gets on NBC or that show just gets on NBC because I don't know why NBC wouldn't want that. Like if I'm NBC, I'm like, yeah, we'll take John Cena's last match.
Do you wonder if WWE tried to use Saturday night's main events in the number count for the PLEs? And maybe that's why NBC is just like, hey, if you want to count that towards the PLE, let's make that exclusive on there.
Maybe. Like I can't say for certain no, they didn't. So maybe they did that. But I think because like when this all was announced, because the Peacock deal was done years ago, and then the Saturday night's main event deal just was done last year. So there's only been four Saturday nights.
There was events. December, there was January, May, July.
Okay, 4. So 4.
Yeah.
So there's only been 4. And they were on NBC as well. Yeah, that felt like it was a separate deal. But maybe they were like, hey, we've actually given you more because we've given you Saturday night's main event.
Night's main event.
On here.
And then they start counting all the NXT ones because they came up with different NXT ones during this whole run. So yeah, they probably pulled the okey doke, and NBC was like, you know what? That's not even a big ratings jar for us. You can keep those on Peacock. If we're gonna count those towards the PLEs, let's make that exclusive on Peacock.
Yeah, maybe they did. Cena's last opponent, Tetsuya Naito. That would roll. Could you imagine? Two dudes just not taking their shirt off to do this match. Just all right, let's just go out here. Maybe it's Tanahashi.
Cena's like, you can't see me, and Naito's like,
crowd just goes crazy over that. They ain't even gonna do shit. Crowd's chanting holy shit just based on the you can't see me and the big eye.
And then Tanahashi's music hits and he does the old grandma run down to the ring. My niece. He's like, I got one knee. I got two half knees. It makes one knee. And he makes his way down.
That was the big news yesterday. So as I was saying, just seemed like it was going to be a normal Wednesday. Everything was good. And then all of a sudden, just news after news after news with WWE, ESPN, Peacock, John Cena, all of it. Yes, all of it came out. And then at night, we did have AEW Dynamite.
Or the afternoon for you.
No, or the afternoon for me. MJF and Hangman Page. You didn't like this segment? So to set it up, Hangman Page comes to the ring. He's like, I'm not going to call MJF out because he's a coward. MJF appears backstage. He, earlier in the evening, made a deal with Ricochet of like, hey, you don't like Mark Briscoe. I don't like Mark Briscoe. Let's gentleman's agreement here to make some things happen with Mark Briscoe. They got Mark Briscoe. They captured him, tied him up. And MJF said, I got some requests. I doused gasoline on Mark Briscoe. I have some requests about this title match. Number 1, the title can change hands on a DQ. Number 2, the title can change hands on a countout. Number 3, I don't have to execute my contract, but the match is still on. You agree to these requests, or I turn Mark Briscoe into barbecue chicken. Hangman Page says, okay, I agree to this. And MJF says, thank you very much. And that is how we got out of the contract execution for this. Joel and I talked about it on Monday's show, I believe, about it was weird that both of these contracts were being executed for this show. Could they get out of MJF not doing a contract execution? And if so, how would they do it? Well, they did it. Yeah, I think he did watch. He watched that clip we posted. This is why clips work for this show. He watched that clip. He's like, you know what? That's actually pretty smart. We shouldn't be doing another contract execution here. How can we get around this? Here's how we can do it. You don't like this, SP3? What's up?
Last week's segment was fantastic. MJF played his character to a T, basically baited himself as Hangman came off like the smart babyface who outsmarted the manipulating heel to perfection into in executing his contract, getting out the way of the whole contract thing, because no one likes this whole AEW trying to do Money in the Bank thing. They hated the Christian one. They didn't like the idea of these two. That's why you've had to go around and finagle it and call it executing a contract and basically just make it the winners of the Casino Gauntlet get a shot at Forbidden Door. I understand it was a bigger deal to y'all than to me that it was both contracts being executed on the same show. I don't think it really matters all that much. I don't honestly think it's that big of a deal. But what is a big deal is you totally negating that great segment that built your main event for Forbidden Door last week with what you did this week. I thought that Hangman Adam Page's performance was really well done. I thought MJF as the heel who was trying to manipulate the babyface and go through on his promise of getting Hangman angry enough that he starts making a mistake. I understood all of that, and I enjoyed the performances. The segment overall was not good because it negated everything good that they did last week, and it made Hangman look dumb. It's like Mark Briscoe. Why is Mark Briscoe freaking in a hostage situation? Well, you have him tied up and stuff. Well, when did Ricochet and GOA become freaking the villains from Taken? Like, what are we doing? This just
They've always kind of been villains from Taken. That actually made sense.
But this just feels so honky. Oh man, it's so carny. I didn't enjoy this. I loved last week's opening segment. I thought everybody played their characters to a T. And like I said, I enjoyed the performances of both MJF and Hangman. And it doesn't take away from the fact that MJF and Hangman is one of the best AEW feuds of the year. But I don't think this was a good go home segment. I just feel like this was more of an answer. I know you guys are saying, they watch ITW, but I think it's more of an answer to last week's rating where they got the big bump. They got a huge rating in their opening segment. And Tony was like, you know what? I think I want to stretch this out a little bit longer. So we're going to do this angle and we're going to forget about the executing the contract. He's going to give you the title match after all. Where our suggestion that we gave last week was a lot better of Hangman saying, yeah, I'll give you the title match without you executing your contract. But it has to be with Mark Briscoe. It has to be a 3-way with Mark Briscoe. I'm willing to put myself at risk, give me less of a chance to retain the title as long as it screws you over. So that makes him look smart. MJF gets what he wants, and we get Mark Briscoe involved in this angle in a proper way that builds up Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe becoming a hostage in this hostage situation did nothing for Mark Briscoe. So we missed the point of weeks of build, and we ruined last week's segment. Yeah, I don't think this was good.
Hangman should have just called his bluff. Should have just been like, you pussy, you're not going to burn him alive. I dare you to do it. Would MJF have actually burned Mark Briscoe? He should have just called his bluff. MJF talks a big game.
He wouldn't got a match at all if he lit him on fire. He would be in jail.
MJF talks a big game, right? But what if he ain't burned a man's house down? He ain't broken into a man's house like Swerve and Hangman have. What's the most despicable act MJF has done in his AEW history? The actual act. Not what he said. The actual act of what he's done.
A lot of his acts are just him saying shit.
Is it pushing Jericho off of the cage after...
Pushing Jericho off the cage, attacking William Regal.
Yeah, that's okay. He attacked an old man.
He punched him in the back of the head with it.
Yeah.
He has a history of concussions. That's serious. He could die.
All right.
Serious.
But still, people do that in all the time. In matches. That's no different to me than Will Ospreay using the Tiger Driver against Danielson, who has a bad neck. Like, what's the difference?
That is true. LA3G says throwing tequila in the little kid's face. That's up there.
Yeah.
That was a despicable act. Screwing over Cody. Despicable act.
These are all just like acts in common wrestling, Oh, he screwed over Cody. All right, how many times in wrestling history has a friend screwed over a friend? Owen Hart did that to his own brother. Big deal.
That's true. He didn't screw him over. Well, yeah, he did.
Yeah, when he threw in the
towel.
Jacket,
well, he made Helen. He made Helen throw in the towel.
Right. So again, big deal. Oh, he pushed somebody off the top of the cage.
He held Wardlow against his will. Against his will. Made him a
JBL
hostage. Made him a
JBL
slave.
did JBL did that with Shawn Michaels. Big deal.
MJF did it better.
Okay, it's not about who did it better. It's just the fact
Yeah, it
that
is. At this point, it is about who did it better.
it's just the fact that like it's been done. And big deal. His acts haven't been that despicable. It's been stuff that we've seen in the history of wrestling. Swerve breaking into a man's house and going after the child? All right. That's actually like, yeah, now we're burning down a man's house? His full ass house. Come on now.
Even John Moxley, he suffocated people with plastic bags.
Yeah. That's actually like some real murder shit, which is what we want around here. MJF ain't done murder shit, you know? It's just he's done common wrestling shit. Hangman Page should have stood 10 toes down in that ring and been like, Mark Briscoe, he ain't a pussy. This is how he'd want to go out this way. Getting set on fire? Mark Briscoe's all about that. He and his brother used to set each other on fire all the time as kids. You know how many fireworks they've blown up around that farm? Mark Briscoe ain't scared of a little bit of fire. Go. Do it. You're a pussy. You're not going to do it. You ain't going to do shit, MJF. And see what MJF would have done. Instead, Hangman, just cowardly, was like, all right.
Dumb babyface syndrome.
Match. Yeah. He should have called his bluff. That's what I would have done if I was Hangman. Now, what's stopping? I don't like this. Oh, the title can change hands on a DQ or a count out. Why doesn't Ricochet just run in and punch MJF in the face?
I mean, that's what I would, if that's the smartest thing to do. And usually MJF does the smartest thing that you would think the wrestler would do. So maybe he does do that. And maybe this is how we parlay into maybe like a TV feud with MJF, with Hangman and Ricochet coming out of this. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind MJF and Ricochet working together, having like an alliance of some kind. I think that could work as well. But I don't know. Yeah, I just wasn't feeling this segment, man. I thought a Hangman bullying Ricochet was fun though. That was fun.
I would, if I'm MJF, I would come out there with Gates of Agony and Ricochet, all three of them. Stand there, they're on the outside. Stand there, wait for the bell to ring. Immediately get out of the ring, and then get beaten up by Gates of Agony and Ricochet. They DQ. I'm the champion. Because Hangman's got to be on his toes here. Like, he's got to take them out before the match starts. In that case, because I could actually see a scenario where like Ricochet runs down and he's about to like hit MJF to cause it, but then Hangman cuts him off with like a buckshot or something. Like, they would be smart to play into the, if MJF gets DQ'd or if Hangman gets DQ'd, MJF wins the title. MJF should pay somebody off to punch him so he can get the title. Hangman has to cut that off before it actually happens. But this is where MJF has got to have the fail-safe of, they're just out there before the match starts. I'm immediately getting out of the ring. I'm immediately getting beat up by them. DQ. Over. I'm the champion. Just giving you ideas here, MJF. You can be the champion very quickly on Sunday if you listen to me.
You're trying to be helpful to MJF.
I mean, I was helpful to him last week when I was like, you got to figure out a way to not execute the contract. He's like,
and he did.
You know,
he did. He figured it out.
So I'm very helpful to MJF.
The only way this makes any type of sense is if Hangman wins on Sunday, and then you do a matchup. Maybe you have like Tony Khan be like, hey, you know, you didn't execute your contract. You still have your contract. That's all fine and dandy. But you didn't. You literally tried to burn someone alive. You tried to commit murder on my television show. So you're going to have another match with Mark Briscoe for the contract, and Mark Briscoe wins the contract.
Okay. All right. I don't think Tony Khan cares that somebody committed murder. Darby Allin tried to commit murder the other week when he tried to toss John Moxley off the balcony. Tony's just
Well,
like,
to be fair, you could say that John tried to murder him first by throwing him down a flight of stairs. He just tried to throw him down something taller and
yeah,
outside and near concrete.
Darby falls downstairs for fun. That wasn't really attempted murder.
I'm just trying to say, I'm trying to put them on even playing field, not
Right.
taking into account who they are. I'm just trying to say, human being wise, you throw someone down a flight of stairs, you kick my dog, I'm gonna kick your cat. It's gonna be a little bit more drastic.
Sure. But Tony didn't do anything about that either. So I don't think Tony cares that people are trying to murder people on his show. If he did, he would have sent people back there to get Mark Briscoe. Why? He had Hangman hostage in the ring. Nobody else wanted to go back there to save Mark Briscoe. Tony wasn't like, hey, how about we don't set a person on fire on the television show? Tony doesn't care.
Tony needs to do his job better. We're calling you out, Tony. Sorry.
Tony's lost control of the locker room.
He lost control. He needs to take control, and setting someone on fire, that's a little too far. So Briscoe beats MJF for the contract. We get Briscoe versus Hangman at All Out.
I mean, I would like it. I'm all for Mark Briscoe. It felt like that was the blow off, that street fight. Or it wasn't even a street fight. It was just they used tables. There was blood. It felt relaxed rules, everything. Yeah. It felt like that was the blow off. I hope it wasn't, because they should do like a street fight or some type of gimmick where they can use even more weapons and everything. But it kind of felt like that was the end of it. I guess we'll see.
I don't think so.
Okay, I hope you're right. I do hope you're right. Elsewhere on Dynamite, they refused to book a winner for a tag team title tournament, and so we're getting Brodido and FTR. They went to a 30-minute draw. They're both going to be in the tag team title match. It is a 3-way elimination match, which rules because Bobby Lashley is going to stack all 4 of these men, and that's how the eliminations get done.
No, it's rules because this is Hurt Syndicate's way of losing the titles without losing.
But they got to get pinned because it's an elimination match. So
is it elimination?
Yeah, they said it was an elimination match.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So they have to. I thought the same thing at first when I saw it finish in the announcement, but then they did say like it's an elimination match. So
okay, so that surprises me. That does surprise me. But I guess this is their way of losing the titles, but at least they win first.
They're gonna get like DQ'd or something to and that's how they get eliminated.
And it comes down to Brodido and FTR being like, "We're promised a new champion." Yeah. They DQ'd themselves.
Lashley's gonna like get frustrated and use like a chair, and then they get DQ'd, and then he's gonna be like, "Oh fuck! Oh no!" It's because it's an elimination match. We're out.
No, they do even worse. They do the kicking too much ass disqualification.
Oh, love that DQ. Yeah.
I hate that shit so much. I can't believe I just suggested it.
Yeah.
But yes, they're beating their ass and be like, okay, give it up. He's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ding, 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 disqualification, kicking too much ass. And Bobby Lashley like, what are you talking? I heard people. What are you talking about? And they get kicked out, and it comes down to Brodido and FTR, who I think had a brilliant match. I thought this matchup was so well paced. The little instances, the finish was so well done. Brody King came out of nowhere for that finish, pushing Bandito out the way and taking the dive and crashing through the table. I thought that he was just a monster in this matchup. The way that he can just change the entire vibe of a matchup. When you have like 3 different styles in this matchup, where you got FTR, which is more kind of old school, grounded and hard hitting. You got Brody King, who can do the hard hitting, but he's a lot more physical, has a lot more agility for a guy his size. He uses his athleticism very well in the matchup, and he can have a nicely paced matchup like this one. But Bandito is the one that deserves so much praise, because man, this dude has come out of nowhere in the last 3 months and become a Wrestler of the Year candidate. Like, he really is that. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world today, between his matches in Arena Mexico, what he's done on AEW Dynamite over the last couple of weeks, how him and Brody have blended together and became one of the most exciting tag teams that this division has had in a long time. And this match was just great. Just a great matchup. So well paced. The storytelling was there. I love how it felt when we even hit the 25-minute mark and you know where they're going with this, that they're going to the time limit draw. I was in shock, Jeremy. I was like, wait, it's been 25 minutes? This did not feel like a 25-minute matchup. This did not feel like 30 minutes to me. I feel like they can have an even better matchup if you knock off 5 to 10 minutes off this match. So that's why I'm actually, I think that this was the best decision to give us the best match possible for Forbidden Door, because I think that Brodido versus Hurt Syndicate, that could be good. I know FTR versus Hurt Syndicate would have been good, but I think these two teams in there with the Hurt Syndicate can make it a great matchup, and I think that it's going to be better for Forbidden Door. So job well done. Definitely the best match from last night.
All right, so Graves is saying on AEW's site it's not listed as elimination, but on Twitter it's listed as elimination. They definitely said elimination tag team match, so I'm pretty sure it's an elimination match. It's not on the graphic that it's an elimination match, but yeah, on the Twitter listing it does say elimination match. Maybe it gets changed before Sunday. Who knows? Guess we'll find out. But at least for right now, it's an elimination match. I can't wait for Hurt Syndicate to get DQ'd to get out of this match. It's going to rule. It was a great match, the FTR against Brodido match. Still cowardly that they didn't pick a winner and they didn't just have Brodido win because reasons, I guess. Brodido should have just won, and they should win the titles on Sunday. Just put the titles on Brodido. I think FTR is winning these titles, though, so they can do FTR and Cope and Christian.
Yeah, especially because they kind of gave it away with the Cope and Christian promo last night, where Christian was like, oh, he agreed to help me with my Kip and Nick problem, and I agreed to help him with his FTR problem, and that's it. That's the end of our partnership. Well, not if you beat FTR as AEW World Tag Team Champions. Then you got to stay together. So, yeah.
I don't think the cage match is elimination. Is the cage match elimination?
No, cage match is not elimination.
It's lights out steel cage. So lights out, I don't really think is that would be a long ass match if it was elimination.
That'd be an hour-long match.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's a first pinfall to the finish there. And speaking of that match, Will Ospreay's like, yeah, my neck sucks. I wasn't cleared. That's why I'm doing this unsanctioned match. And then Kenny and Kota just weren't there. That's a little curious that they just aren't on these shows leading into the pay-per-view. They feel this team kind of feels a little thrown together regardless. Like, it's a cool team, but it does feel a little like, okay, why is Tanahashi doing this? Why are Kenny and Kota in this match? Shouldn't they have issues still more with like Okada and the Don Callis family with everything, and then them not being there at all for this big schmoz at the end? You got the Ops. I assume the Ops will take on War Dogs in a 0 hour. Seemed like they set that up. I was like, why are Kenny and Kota here? And they weren't there. Like, are they okay? Are they good? I'm scared.
I don't think they were, from how Kota Ibushi made it sound on social media, I don't think they were told they were going to be in this matchup. I think they were probably asked if they wanted to work Forbidden Door and probably said yes. And then this is the match that Tony came up with them to do. And I don't think they were supposed to be on this show either. I think they're just for Forbidden Door, which begs the question, why wasn't this just built up as a mystery partner? I think it would have been much better if you announce it at Forbidden Door. If they're not going to be involved in the build of any kind, I think there is a much better way to announce Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega as your last tag team partners. With at least Will Ospreay announces it in the promo last night, or they come out. If they're not there, then you could save it as a surprise for the pay-per-view. I think the way they did it, of Tony Schiavone announces the lineup for both Lights Out Steel Cage match teams. I thought that was a little lackluster last week, and everything that happened this week just backs that up. As far as Will Ospreay's promo, I think Will's just one of the best promos out there. This was a really good promo to kick off the show. He gets so personable and talking about his experiences in Scotland, and then get serious with the storyline and everything. And I think that a lot of people, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if he's shooting on us or he's working us, because he keeps bringing up, because of what the Deaf Riders did, I'm not medically cleared. So him preferencing a worked angle is the reason why his neck isn't right and he's not cleared and stuff, makes me believe that this is all a work. This is all the storyline. But there's also people that are going to believe what he says and say like, oh my God, he's not cleared to compete. And that's why he said, I know this is going to get a lot of people talking, but I like the fact that he explained that, this is why I wanted it to be a lights out steel cage match, because it's non-sanctioned. They can't stop me from competing. They can't stop me from fighting in this matchup. And that's the reason why I wanted it to be a lights out steel cage. I like that part of this whole explanation. If this is a shoot injury, I don't think he should be doing this. I care about his health.
If this is a shoot injury, I mean, this is a good way to write him off, but you also got to sometimes save your guys from your guys, because Ospreay is a crazy person and will do a bunch of crazy things and not think twice about it. And like, if you really have neck issues, you shouldn't be doing a lot of these things. I mean, Danielson on commentary, like, yeah, I got my first neck surgery around his age, and like, Danielson was out for a while off of that. Doesn't seem like nobody in this match. I did like the explanation that like it's lights out so we don't have to get cleared. I'm like, yeah, because no doctor's actually clearing any of these people. Nobody's getting cleared for this match. Darby's the only person on that team that's getting cleared. Ospreay, Tanahashi, Kenny, and Kota just gotta like watch on the outside. Be like, come on, Darby, you got this. 5-on-1, you're good. This is the man who just climbed Everest and then just swam with a bunch of sharks and everything. He's the guy who's in the best shape on his team.
That's how great the shape of this is, like the Walking Wounded versus the Walking Wounded in this matchup. It's kind of ridiculous. It's like you could have easily made, and maybe it's too much, but I think 5-on-5 is too much. So if you're gonna do 5-on-5, might as well do 6-on-6. And you don't put Tanahashi in this matchup. Instead, you put Jet Speed and you put Wheeler Yuta on the heel team. And I think that that's better use of your stars, because at least you have two of your newer stars in Speedball Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight in there. You got a young star in Wheeler Yuta. You got, you got people that don't really need to be in this matchup, like Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and the Young Bucks, but they're veterans that know how to work this matchup and will make it better just with their presence. So that's good. On the babyface side, Jet Speed can do all the bumping and the bigger spots, and you can stop Darby from having to do everything in this matchup. And Will Ospreay shouldn't be doing everything in this matchup because of his health. Neither should Kota Ibushi. Neither should Kenny Omega. But at least we're saving Tanahashi from thinking that he has to do a high fly flow off the top of the cage.
He's gonna. The problem with Jet Speed and making it 6-on-6 is we don't know the structure of this, because we talked about it last week of, if you're doing 5-on-5 and you just have the cage that's on the ring, there ain't a whole lot of room. Now you want to add 2 more people to that. It's like, well, where are guys moving at this point? Maybe they'll do, we just watched the Doomsday Cage match last night. They should do that structure for this thing.
So bad.
One of the greatest matches of all time. Come on now.
So bad. That finish.
Imagine Tanahashi being the Arn Anderson role of like, all right, let me gingerly walk on this cage so nothing bad happens to me.
I want Tanahashi to come down in a full-on sweatsuit, like Arn did.
Yeah, I think it'll be the Hell in a Cell like cage. I think they'll do kind of the New Japan like dog pound style cage where it's around the ring. We'll know pretty quickly into the show what kind of cage it's going to be, because we'll know like how close the audience is like where the guardrail is compared to the ring. Like if you see that's moved back a little bit, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, they're gonna have some type of cage there. I guess also if we see it, hanging, that we can see the size of it. If that's coming down, if it's a little bit bigger or if it's smaller, I guess we'll learn on Sunday what it's going to look like. I feel like it has to be something that's more that gives you the ringside area, because 10 guys in that confined little area, you're gonna have people just fighting on the outside, and then you're gonna have someone stupid, Darby, jumping off of the top of the cage onto the people who are on the outside.
Yeah.
And
Probably a coffin drop.
Yeah, and I hope Claudio at the very least is down there, because I at least know Claudio will catch him. Everybody else, I'd be a little bit concerned about of how are they going to catch Darby? Are they going to be willing to catch Darby? I think they would be.
They barely caught him last night.
Yeah, Claudio at least. And Claudio, I'm like, all right, I got faith that Claudio will stand there and take that catch. But everybody else, I don't know. It's going to be a...
We're gonna see. This is the big spectacle for Sunday, that matchup. I will say that. So like, that's a good option. And AEW pay-per-views are always better when you have multiple options to main event. The last two pay-per-views had multiple option to main event the show, and I think that made it for the better and made it two of the best AEW shows of all time, and especially in 2025. And now this show with this matchup, not because of the build or anything, mostly is because of what the hell is this match going to be that can headline the show, and the lights out stipulation has been established as a show ender for them. And then you got Hangman and MJF for the AEW World Championship. That's a nice little 1-2 punch of potential big time main events on the show.
Nick Wayne is out of the tag team match. He has a broken foot. Seems to be a legitimate injury.
Yeah.
But Luchasaurus is back, revived. First off, glad that he's healthy. It seemed like a scary health situation at the end of last year where he was hospitalized and severe. I'll read the story here from Fightful Select. Let me pull this up. This was published in September 2024. Luchasaurus is recovering after his fiancée found him collapsed on Friday, September 27th. He was rushed to the hospital where they found his blood oxygen below 80% and determined he had ammonia in both lungs. It was discovered that he was days away from permanent lung damage. He's been on oxygen for days and was told to expect a recovery of over a month, and his in-ring return was unclear. He was backstage at Revolution earlier this year, and now looks like he's cleared. He's good to go. So again, happy that Luchasaurus is healthy and able to wrestle once again. We're getting it. I think we're getting it. Louis says it. I think it might be time on Sunday, SP3. You notice that doctor. That doctor seemed to knew what he was doing. He had, if you look at him, the jacket he was wearing, the kind of the hands, even though they're wearing gloves. I think it might be time. SP3. You know what time it is, don't you?
No, I'm
the
good.
London crowd in the O2 is gonna be ready. You know what they're gonna be ready for, right? SP3. They're ready to jack off, baby. Jack Perry coming back on Sunday. Get ready. The jacket. We jacking off, SP3. Sunday. This is how Cope and Christian should lose. Dork asses. Cope coming out.
No, you need a reason. You need a reason for Jack Perry to return and reunite with Luchasaurus. It's going to be that Kip Sabian failed Luchasaurus and he lost to Cope and Christian, and then Jack comes out and helps Luchasaurus lay out Cope and Christian. Christian
should lay out Cope, and we get the reunion of Christian, Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus.
It was appropriate. I liked the promo Christian cut last night. It was the first good promo of this whole entire angle. As Christian was like, you know what? I tried to find myself. I went out and I realized I shouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, exactly. He's like, he's the problem. Like, yes, I agree. Totally. He was like, yes, I'm an asshole, but I don't care. And this is the best version of Christian Cage. This is the best tag team partner that Adam Copeland will ever have. So Christian was awesome. Christian was awesome last night. He was back in rare form. I'm not going to hold 2 weeks ago against him or 3 weeks ago against him. I'm conducting my business. But yes, I'm not going to hold that against him anymore because that was a good performance. I enjoyed the promo and I enjoyed Luchasaurus's return. I enjoyed the vignette. I thought Nick Wayne had a really good promo with his promo talking about getting injuring his foot. He's getting the cadence and delivery of Christian. He's not able to do it as well as Christian, but he is trying his best. So I give him credit for the effort. And Luchasaurus looked great. That choke slam on Christian, oh my God. I was like, yo, he was really upset with Christian. Oh, shit.
Christian took it like he took like a side bump. It was very weird the way Christian decided to sell that. Bless how Christian sold that thing. It should be Christian and Cope can win, whatever. Who cares? And then Cope thinks all things are good with him and Cope. But then Luchasaurus is standing there. Jack Perry returns. Christian kicks Copeland in the dick. And we get the big reunion. And Christian is just like, hey, you helped him with my problem. I'm done with Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne. I got my boys back. I don't give a fuck about your FTR problem. That's all you now, buddy. Sorry. That would fit the Christian character. Come on now. Tell me I'm not wrong.
You're literally saying F the big money matchup that we're really building towards because of my Jack Perry obsession.
I mean, F the big money. Cope and Christian gets FTR? That's a big money matchup.
Big money matchup. That's the match that's going against John Cena. John Cena and
you don't even believe this. You muted
John
yourself.
Cena and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Cope and Christian. I don't need a
I'll tell you that's going to be the better match of the two.
Probably, but that's not saying much. It'll probably be a good match. I just don't have interest in a Cope and Christian reunion. I don't have interest in anything Cope does. Just get him out of here. Christian I love. Absolutely love Christian.
Great moment in Scotland with them singing Method Lingus.
I laughed. I laughed when he got no pyro. I was like, ha, 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 ha. You got no pyro, buddy. Does his, and then he looks behind him like, okay. Dork. Get out of here. Christian shouldn't trust this man. Get him out of here. Yeah, Jack Perry, Christian, and Luchasaurus. The reunion that we've all been waiting for.
I don't think anyone's been waiting for that.
I have.
That's not we. That's you.
Chat, let me know. Put a jack off in the chat. If you've been
I'm not listening to this chat. King Potato just wrote fucked up that evil isn't on Forbidden Door. This is why I'll never listen to anything you people say. Because y'all say stuff like that.
Why do you hate Henry? He's waiting for it. Time to jack off. Louis, officially on a jack watch.
Thank you for the super chat, Louis.
Everybody's been waiting for Jack Perry to return and reunite with Christian and Luchasaurus. This is what we've been waiting for. Grays, he's ready to jack off. Everybody's ready to jack off.
I hope y'all enjoy your ejaculation.
We've been edging for a long time here. We're ready to ejaculate.
It's kind of weird. Kind of weird to admit that, but okay.
It rules that Jack Perry's now, if this was him, he's just a doctor and he can just revive people.
He knew how to do this. He knew how to do this better than anyone. He's an expert.
Yeah. Man of many trades, Jack Perry. Honestly. I can't wait. We gotta get it. We gotta get it on Sunday. Should I DM Tony? Like, Tony, is Jack Perry returning on Sunday? Just let me know.
Yeah.
I won't tell anybody.
You'll take the trip to London?
I just got to get proper preparations. You know what I mean? Got to have, you know how Dexter has like his room with all like the plastic everywhere so it doesn't easy cleanup. That's what I got to set up.
That's what you're going to need for the ejaculation. This guy's so weird.
Main event of Dynamite, Mercedes and Athena defeated Tony and Windsor. It was a good match.
Alex Windsor.
It was a good match.
Good match, yes. I enjoyed that one. I thought the interactions between Mercedes Moné and Timeless Tony Storm was a personal highlight for me. I enjoy when especially big time stars react to losses in different ways, and I thought that Mercedes reaction and interactions with Timeless Tony Storm were really well done, coming off the heels of the loss at All in Texas. So that was like the big highlight for me, outside of course Athena's O-face on Windsor. Oh my god, that was ridiculous. It was like she could not see it coming. It's just boom.
I like the finish where it's like, that's not the legal person. I'm always a sucker for a good that's not the legal person finish, and they did it very well on that one. Grace saying, ITWGM, why did we buy 48k square of plastic tire? Now she knows. She just messaged and was like, are you putting Jack off in the headline when he returns? I don't think I can get away with that because like it's such a niche bit contained to this show that if I put that in like a headline, people are gonna be like, this makes no sense. Like the Veer headline worked because it kept saying like Veer is coming. So I could actually do like Veer came, but yeah, doing Jack Perry ejaculates in his return. Like it just
you'd be like, he was greeted with Jack, you late. Chance.
Yeah, I don't even know how I could I'd have to workshop it a bit to try to fit in Jack Perry returns. Maybe I can't even put like elation, so I could put like Jack elation as Jack Perry returns. You know what I mean?
Jack elation.
Yeah. I don't know if I could do it.
So you could be like, London was in pure ejaculation.
London elated as Jack Perry returns. Like it doesn't like flow, but it's a nod to, oh, okay, Jack elation. Oh, okay, I see what Jeremy like. That'd be a nod to the ITW audience if I ran that headline of London elated as Jack Perry returns. I don't think I could pull it off quite that well. He would need to do something to where
he is elated. Jack's elated.
Maybe if he does have the jacket on, like, and he takes his jacket off, like Jack Perry takes jacket off in AEW return. I feel like maybe I could do like that.
Oh man, that's pretty good.
I can't call attention to the show. Jimmy's gonna actually watch this show and be like, what are we doing for this?
It's like we do this 5 times a week.
Yeah. What's going on? Yeah, and I could work it if the jacket off. If
jacket off.
Yeah.
Take the jacket off. He's gonna be at all like jacket off. Jacket off. Jack it off.
Insane headline. I'm just like, wait, that's your big takeaway? Is he took his jacket off? Like, yes, that is the big takeaway.
That is the big takeaway. I'm all for jacket off.
All right, Jack, you got one mission in your return. Wear the jacket and take it off, just so I can write Jack Perry takes jacket off, returns to AEW.
Sounds so ridiculous, but I love it so much. Oh man.
I messaged Brian. You know, I should message Brian Danielson. Brian Danielson's a sucker for a good penis and jacket bit. He loves penis jokes.
Dude,
Danielson
you
would
need
think
to
that's
help me.
hilarious.
Please have Jack Perry take his jacket off when he comes back. Please let that happen.
CM Punk fuming. He's like, what's he doing this internet shit for?
It's like, how dare he do that? I'm crying a river.
Real jacket off. Cry me a river.
Real jacket off. That's ridiculous.
Rules.
Did we miss anything else from Dynamite? Yeah.
Who cares about the rest of Dynamite? We talked about the most important thing. Jack Perry, baby. That's what matters.
He's not coming back.
What do you mean? Yes, he is.
That doctor was a doctor. Wasn't Jack Perry?
I don't think any doctor in wrestling is a doctor.
Also true. You might be onto something there.
I mean, they claim Britt Baker is, but I don't know.
Well, she is actually.
Debatable.
Yeah, she is.
Debatable.
That's why her theme song says, "The doctor will see you now."
Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
You like
doctor will see you now.
You like sped that up and made it an upbeat pop song instead of
the doctor will see you now.
I like your version better.
Doctor will see you now. Yeah. Perfect.
Let's make SP3's version of Britt Baker's theme.
Just rip that one part of me saying, "Doctor will see you now."
I don't think there's anything else from Dynamite.
No,
what's happened on the show?
Probably not. Yeah. I'll talk about it on AE Ramble with Jimmy in like an hour from now, which I'm sure he hated it. The stuff I didn't like on the show, but I still think it was a good show. That means that Jimmy probably hated the show.
Yeah, probably. All right. It's time to go to the C-Suite SP3.
Check my Palm Pilot. Yes, it's time for the C-Suite. The C-Suite. It's time for the C-Suite. The C-Suite. It's time for the C-Suite. The C-Suite. It's time for the C-Suite, where we watch C-level WWE shows in the C-Suite. All right, C-Suite time. LFG is back, baby. And Bully Ray's still upset about how they did his girl, Xena Sterling, dirty. They did her dirty. They've been stealing victories away from her. But he's realized that she's just too good. And that maybe Xena is relying on her laurels. I think that he was more on point the week prior when he said that Michelle McCool and Undertaker are basically perpetrating to get themselves points, which they did again in this episode. Spoiler alert. So yeah, he basically gave her a pep talk, said he wanted to see some fire, some intensity from her. She went against Serena Linton on this show. A better showing for Serena, who got choked out. She got choked out unconscious, apparently, in her matchup against Bailey Humphrey. So she did much better in this matchup here. Bailey Humphries, meanwhile, she went against Penina Telepa, a.k.a. P Nasty, who has been the point leader so far in Season 2 of LFG. This was a nice little hoss fight between the two ladies. I thought that they both showed a little bit more in the ring. Bailey's getting so much better. Like, she's only wrestled. I think the only matches she's wrestled are on LFG. And I think other than that, she's done a couple of house shows, but most of her in-ring work we've seen are her only matches that she's ever had. And she's gotten real good because she's able to kind of use her size and her power, even against someone like P Nasty. She got the win with a power bomb, but in the end, it was P Nasty who received another point. People are just enjoying how she's able to use her character and her charisma in the ring, and she's been doing very well this season. So that was another point for Team Michelle, who is now in second place. And then the other point for the men, it went to Shiloh Hill for Team Undertaker. I believe this week all the coaches had to basically pick their best male and best female competitor or so far this season. So the Undertaker picked Shiloh Hill and Bailey Humphrey, which kind of pissed off Danny Zelensky because she was kind of one of the favorites and she made the semifinals last year, so she was kind of offended that she wasn't given that spot for the Team Undertaker. For Team McCool, it was Anthony Luke for the male, and like I said, P Nasty got the point. And for the for Team Bubba, it was Sexy BJ Ray, only because his Elijah Holyfield suffered an injury. So we got another injury this year. So BJ Ray, he didn't care because he was like, I got injured last year. Nobody cared about me. You're going to see I'm still the best. I'm the best here. That's why Team Bubba going to get a point. Like, he's so annoying and he's so great at it. It's so good. BJ Ray. Star of LFG. BJ Ray. And Team Booker picked Harlem Lewis. So it was Harlem versus BJ Ray. And apparently we got a news story where Harlem Lewis is not listening to Booker T. He feels like he knows everything. He feels like he's further along than most of his cohorts on LFG. So he's got a confidence issue and not listening issue with Booker T. And Booker T had to like raise his voice with them when they were breaking down the matchup. Harlem, I believe he won this matchup. I think BJ did. I'm not sure because that this was the weaker of the two male matches. But neither one of them looked that great. Harlem didn't look that great. BJ didn't look that great. They're both heels, and you had BJ trying to work babyface. Just didn't work out that well. The better of the two matches was Anthony Luke versus Shiloh Hill, who I really feel both of these guys are like, with Elijah Holyfield, are the favorites for the male for season 2. I thought Shiloh, he looked good again. He shows that intensity, and he just has that kind of fire in his eyes and that crazy look that he can get sometimes. He feels like someone who would have fit in very well as a member of the Wyatt family. If the Wyatt Six was a good group, I would say the Wyatt Six, but I'll say the Wyatt family because that was actually a good group. And then he got the point for Team Undertaker. I thought Anthony Luke was actually better than him on this occasion, but Undertaker and Michelle McCool are working it out where each of them get a point this week, unlike last week where they both conspired to get Michelle McCool some points so she could catch up. So good episode this week from LFG. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Season 2 is just not on the same level of season 1. Season 1 felt a lot realer than this year's season. This year's season, a lot of the drama and stuff like that, and now they're trying to do angles to stir up drama. Feels a little bit put on this season, which I don't like. I wanted to go back to the feel of the first season. But still the best WWE weekly show because it's less writing than everything else.
That's what always happens with these shows. So the first season's good, and then they try to manufacture too much drama with everything. Yeah. And they did it too soon after the first season.
Yeah, it was way too soon after the first season.
All right, Evolve.
So Evolve this week, it was headlined by Ridge Holland. Yes, Ridge Holland is here. Yeah. Can't escape this guy, man. I stopped watching NXT live, Jeremy, and it's for the reason that I can fast forward through stuff I'm not really entertained by, or I can watch it at 1.5 speed, like promos with Dark State where Cutler James just talks about butts. I don't know. But yeah, Ridge Holland was the reason why I came up with this rule that I can't watch NXT live anymore. And now he's on the show that I have to watch. So I wasn't really enjoying this. I also was upset he beat Sean Legacy. Why would he beat Sean Legacy? Sean Legacy, the future of WWE. WWE ID #1 male draft pick. And they have him lose to Ridge Holland.
They love Ridge Holland for some reason.
What are we doing?
It's very weird.
It's very weird. Ridge Holland, Brooks Jensen. There's certain people that's on this show where I'm just like, okay, y'all are dragging this now. Like, it was one thing when you have like people from LFG here, and then you got the WWE ID people, then you got the PC recruits that haven't debuted on NXT yet, the people that used to be on like WWE Level Up. I'm fine with all of those. But when you got Ridge Holland, reject from the main roster, now a reject from WWE NXT, now he's going to be on Evolve, he's going to be a reject on here, he's going to wind up on TNA. Like, what are we doing?
He probably will wind up on TNA. He's going to be the TNA champion soon enough.
Soon enough. No,
I told you, SP3, you were getting on me for them crossing shows so often. It's like, why do we have Evolve talent on NXT? Why is LFG talent on NXT? Now, why are these talents on Evolve when they're supposed to be main roster people? Too much. Stick to your core talent there.
I understand them putting Evolve talent on NXT is to inspire some NXT viewers to watch Evolve. I understand.
Nobody's gonna watch Evolve.
No, they're not. But
they don't even promote Evolve.
That's why I do. Hey, we got a vignette this week. We got a cool vignette of It's Gall, It's Gall, It's Gall. And Jamar Hampton, sweet, sensitive Jamar Hampton, he went working out with It's Gall. And they basically learned each other's workout plans. And It's Gall got an awesome pump to the point that he's decided that he's going to share some protein shake with Jamar Hampton. And they're going to be friends. Best part of the whole show was It's Gall and Jamar Hampton vignettes of them working out. Best part of the show.
All right. They're going after Adrenaline Drip, right?
No, the new team of something Riggins and other guy. They look very generic. That's why I didn't even decide to jot down their names. I do have vignette with these two dudes that pissed off Adrenaline Drip, and they're gonna lose to Adrenaline Drip next week. But at least they got a vignette. That's literally what I wrote in my notes for Evolve.
Okay.
Chantel Monroe picked up a win over Kylie Ray. I thought that was an upset win. Now, because of the win here, Carmen Petrovic's win over Tyra May Steels last week. And, Jeremy.
I know.
Jeremy. The American Cream, Busty Rhodes. George BBW Bush. Thick Cheney is back on Evolve. She said, I just want you to clear it all up, clear up the rankings so I could come through and get me a shot. She was doing the Martin head swivel with her acting ability.
Yeah. Acting ability.
Nikita Lyons is getting a shot at the WWE Evolve Women's Championship. Oh, praise the Lord. We have all prayed for this moment. Nikita Lyons. Nikita Lyons. She is the Abraham Lincoln of WWE history. She's doing everything.
What?
She's doing it all. She's doing it all to bring communities together. That's what she's doing.
The Abraham Lincoln?
I picked the most confused. I picked the most controversial person, race relations I could. But yes, I'm going. Nikita Lyons. It's going to be Nikita Lyons, Chantel Monroe, Carmen Petrovic, and Callie Armstrong for the WWE Evolve Women's Championship next week on the show. Maga the Stallion.
Is she gonna win this title? There's no way she wins this title, right? They can't be that dumb.
She has to win, right?
What do you mean she has to win? No, she doesn't have to win.
You need a marquee storyline. I thought the marquee storyline would be Nikita Lyons wins the women's championship, and then Callie Armstrong, Chantel Monroe, Mason Holiday, Zara Zakher can all go after her and take the title, eventually take the title from her. None of those people have anything in common. Why I'm picking those particular people.
If they put this title on Nikita Lyons, What are we doing with Evolve? I mean, I asked that question anyway. What are we doing with Evolve? But
that's a better question.
putting the title on the Kota Lions. What the hell? What the hell? All right, sure.
Hey, swipe right got a victory. Swipe right got a victory as well. Put your V's up for the Vanity Project. Dum 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 dum. Gotta win. Thanks to Bryce Donovan. I'm not liking this whole Bryce Donovan being the odd one out of the Vanity Project. I think it's way too early to be teasing dissension within the Vanity Project. But eventually, it's probably going to lead to Bryce Donovan being kicked out of Vanity Project and Bryce Donovan challenging Jackson Drake for the Evolve Men's Championship. But seems like that's the road we're going down for now. Hopefully, they slow burn it at the very least, but we'll see. But that's the C-suite.
It's the C-suite, folks. Nikita Lyons is in the C-suite.
The star of the C-suite, Nikita Lyons. Whenever Nikita Lyons is on an episode of Evolve, you know it's going to be a good time on the C-suite.
That's how you know things are not going well.
It's going splendid.
Debatable SP3.
I think she's the star of the C-suite already. It's her, the Vanity Project, sexy BJ Ray.
You're 1 for 3 with these people.
Which one? Which one is
the?
Oh, okay.
Vanity Project are fine. Yeah.
All right.
BJ Ray and.
How can you not like a guy who runs the ropes and goes, oh?
Very carefully.
Because he has ice in his veins. He says, I got ice in my veins. Oh.
I can very carefully not like a guy who does that. This show flew by today.
It really did, though.
Really flew by today. Appreciate it, everybody, hanging out with us for the past 2 hours. SP3 and I will be back on Saturday. We watched Hulk Hogan Classics, folks. Worst of the Weeds is back on Saturday. Hulk Hogan against the Ultimate Warrior from Halloween Havoc. It's as bad as you think it was, everybody. It's as bad as you remember it being, everybody. And we also watched my favorite match of all time. Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage against the Alliance to End Hulkamania in the Doomsday Cage match. And SP3 was reminded of one of the greatest finishes in wrestling history.
Greatest is one way to describe it.
It's so good. The finish is so good. It's a great match anyway, but the finish really puts that match over the top. A match so good they never brought back that Doomsday Cage match because they were like, you know what, we can't top this.
We gotta create something completely different now.
Yeah. We're never going to be able to top this match, so we're just never going to do it again. That'll be up on Saturday. Everybody can watch horrible Hulk Hogan matches or great Hulk Hogan matches, depending on your taste, with me and SP3. Otherwise, SP3, I don't know where they can find you at.
You can find me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. I will be live in an hour with Jimmy Macaram over on the True Hill Heat Wrestling YouTube channel with AE Ramble, reviewing last night's AEW Dynamite more in depth and understanding why Jimmy hates it so much. Usually it's because he's very miserable, but he actually likes Monday Night Raw because they're pushing LA Knight and Io Sky. He's a simple man if you understand his duality. If you understand who's his favorite, if those people are getting pushed, he doesn't care how bad the show is. His people are getting pushed. But yes, check that out. Join us live over there where we're talking that. You can join us tomorrow on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel for our AEW NJPW Forbidden Door preview with Maggie from right here at Fightful Overbooked, as well as Jay News. Saturday, the True Hill Heat flagship podcast. It's our 8-year anniversary. Yes, I've been doing this for 8 years now. So join us on Saturday at 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll be celebrating True Hill Heat's flagship podcast, as well as talking about this week in wrestling, everything from AAA, Triple Mania, all the WWE news going to ESPN for WrestlePalooza, how that affects AEW, what is all this about with the Peacock contract, and everything in between. And Forbidden Door review will be on Monday. So that's all the places you can see me until I'm back here on Tuesday. Oh, I'll also be on Between Two Beards over on Love Wrestling CA YouTube channel tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll be talking to the guys about AEW Forbidden Door. So join us for that as well. Okay. Otherwise, watch In the Weeds because it's the best morning show in wrestling.
You could have gone best show. That's fine, though. I don't even think we're the best show. We're the best morning show. I will give us that.
No, the best show is AE Ramble, of course.
Yeah, it's fair. I don't think we're the best show, but I do think we're the best morning show. We don't got too much competition, but we trounce competition. Absolutely trounce them. Yeah. Joel and I will be back tomorrow, everybody. We'll be talking Forbidden Door, Heat Wave, whatever else is going on. Joel want to talk about Impact.
Why would you do that?
He's got to talk about, what's happening with Impact. The shows aren't. The shows are the shows, folks.
They exist. Yeah, they exist.
Jensen and I will be back tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Scheduled, I guess I put it out there. Hopefully it doesn't fall through. KJ Orso scheduled to join us, the former Fuego del Sol. He's supposed to be backstage at a show, so we'll see what his connection's like. We'll see how much time we get with KJ. But we've had Fuego on In the Weeds before. Never talked to KJ Orso. But he's scheduled to join us. Jensen and I will be talking about all the WWE stuff going on. We'll talk about Forbidden Door. Talk about GCW Homecoming this weekend. Plenty to talk about, as always, with me and Jensen.
Ref Pro. Talk that Ref Pro. I liked y'all interview the other day.
Oh, thanks. Now, maybe Andy will pop on here. He's got the link, We tell these people it's a static link. Show up anytime you want. I think people think, we're joking or lying.
It's like, you're ribbing me.
Yeah, no. You're free to pop on. It'd be great one day if, Andy just popped on and he's like, anyway, Will Ospreay's here with me. You guys want to talk to him? Yeah, we do. Actually, this would be fantastic.
It's on second thought, yeah, you can come whenever you want.
Well, their show's tomorrow. I don't know what time it is UK time compared to our time, but I imagine he'll be at the show tomorrow. Not like Ospreay, but Andy will be.
Starts at 2 p.m. our time.
All right, so yeah, he'll be at the show, backstage or whatever. She just pop on, give us a tour of the venue, let us talk to some wrestlers and stuff. I'm putting the invitation out there, Andy. You're more than welcome to join us at the show live tomorrow. QT Marshall on Spotlight. He was there taping Collision. He just joined the show. He had to step outside of the venue. He's like, yeah, we're taping matches for ROH right now. Collision starts in half an hour. Oh yeah, Collision is tonight. All right, folks, we'll be back tomorrow, myself and Joel. I'll be back tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Till then, talk to everybody later.